My wife and I bought a KitchenAid mixer a little while back. It was used, and so it's not under warranty, and it fails the dime test. Let me explain what I mean by the dime test. So the idea of the dime test is that you put a dime in the bowl, and then you lift it into place, and you turn the mixer on the lowest speed. And if it's correctly adjusted, the dime will get pushed around. As you can see, the dime is just sitting there, and the beater is not coming anywhere near it. The prescribed treatment for failing the dime test is to adjust the adjustment screw, which is right here. I don't know if you can see that in this view, but it's right here. And that's what's recommended. If you go out on the internet and you look and see, oh, my beater is not close enough to the bowl, everyone will say adjust this screw. Unfortunately, you can't adjust the screw enough sometimes. You turn it all the way counterclockwise, and it still doesn't pass the dime test. So what can you do at this point? If it's not under warranty, there's not much you can do except for fix it yourself, and that's what I hope to show you how to do today. So we'll begin by taking the bowl off and the beater. And we're going to take the base off of the mixer so that we can see what's going on with the back of this screw here. What you'll need to do this repair is a Phillips head screwdriver. We're going to remove these 3 screws here. 1, 2, 3. Okay, obviously make sure that your mixer is secured before you take the base off. Once you have the base off, you can see up inside there where the back of the adjustment screw is. Okay, we're looking up inside the base of the mixer, and as we do that, let's actuate the bowl lifter. This whole assembly is going up, and it's hitting a cam there. If you can see that gray right there at the end of my finger, that gray part is a cam, and that cam is adjusted all the way fully to the smallest side of the cam so that it can raise as much as possible. So my theory is that if we file some metal off of that cam, we can reduce the size of it and thereby allow the bowl to raise higher and allow it to be adjusted to pass the dime test. I've got my screwdriver on the adjustment, and you can see the cam inside moving as I adjust it. See there, that's the fattest part of the cam facing down. Then as I turn it back counterclockwise, that's the skinniest part. So what I want to do is remove metal from this side that you see right here. So what I want to do is turn it back 90 degrees, about right there, and then get my file in there and file off the bottom of it. So it's going to take a flat file, or just a common, like a bastard file, and just going to stick it back in there. Anything bigger than this is not going to get between the cam and this black part that's sticking out. I'm going to stick it back in there and just file off this metal. Remember, we've turned it 90 degrees from full adjustment so that face is facing the file, where the file can get to right now. And what I'm going to do, instead of just sticking this file in there and scratching all the paint off the inside of this thing, I'm going to put duct tape on the back of my file to protect the mixer. So I taped my file. I actually used masking tape. And what you do is just wrap it on 3 sides and press it down, and then you can just cut it off even with the edges. And that way you've got your filing surface, but you don't have file hitting where you don't want it to hit. So let's get that file in there and just gingerly file off extra metal there. Sorry, there's really not much way that you can see what I'm doing. Got the file in there on the cam, and I'm just filing off the metal. I won't make you watch all of this. You can rejoin me when I'm finished. I'm not sure if you can see it there, but I filed a flat spot. See that shiny part of the cam? That's a flat spot that I filed. I'm going to stop about there and check it. I'm also going to turn it a little bit past the flat so that I can file this little shoulder that I've created and just round it off so that it's still a cam. So just to give you an idea of how much difference there is in the adjustment, I've taped this strip of index card here so you have a white background, so that when we pull the carriage up all the way, you can see there's just a little tiny strip of that showing. If you adjust back the other way, clockwise, you get more distance. That's not what we want in this case, but I just want to show you the difference. You can see this strip here, this is how much is showing, and then when I adjust it fully to go as high up as possible by turning it counterclockwise, you get this much strip showing, just a very thin line there. So I think with my filing I may have enough. I'm going to put it back together and do the dime test, and if it doesn't work then I'll have to take it back apart and do it again, but I'll stick with it until I get it fixed. Okay, we'll put the dime in and raise the bowl. Turn it on slow. Okay, still not close enough. You have to take a little bit more off. So if you can get it in your lap, hold the screwdriver in there while you're filing, you can slightly turn the screwdriver back and forth and file a more rounded cam. Less likely to get flat spots this way. Okay, I've done an awful lot of filing down, and now you can see there's my index card, and it's just a very thin strip there showing. So if filing that camshaft in there doesn't get you enough results, you can also take the bowl lifter off. The inside part of this is actually what's hitting that cam of the bowl lifter. I'll take it off and show you. So to take it off, you just need a 7/16 socket and a ratchet wrench, obviously, and just put it on this nut here that's got the spring on it. Just take that off. You don't have to hold the other end because it's in there. Just take that nut all the way off. Be careful not to drop it down in the blender when it's loose. Might want to take it the rest of the way with your fingers. Okay, once you have that nut off, there's also a washer and a spring right behind it that come off. Okay, so the spring was closest to the arm, and then the washer, and then the nut. So So as you're trying to slide it off, it won't come off, and it's because of this screw right here. This screw goes all the way through and it's hitting something. So we're going to have to take that screw out as well. Not a problem. And we actually don't have to take it all the way out, just enough to allow it to slide by. Once it slides by, there's notches that allow this out. See, these notches right here allow these little fingers to slip out. So this is out now. So the part of this that's hitting the cam is right here. You can see right there. So when it goes up, this part right here hits the cam. With the bowl lifter off of here, you can see that I've done all I can with this cam. You see how that's the maximum the cam can push the bowl lifter down, and then that's the maximum it can allow it to come up, and it's flush with this black tab. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a black tab there that is part of the mixer, and so it doesn't matter how much more I file off of this thing now. This black tab is now the long tent pole, so to speak. So that's as high as it's going to lift. Now, I don't want to take any metal off of here because this is a painted surface, so I really don't want to take any metal off of there. And on the lifter, this part is what's hitting the cam, and then part of this is also hitting the body of the mixer when it maxes out. So there's really not a nice way to make it go up any higher. I mean, you can make sure there's nothing in there. We got a little bit of dough in here, but I doubt that's been the problem. Okay, doggone it, I couldn't stand it, so I took an angle grinder to this thing. See if I can get it where you can see it. Okay, so this is the part that was hitting the cam, and I just ground a pretty good chunk of it off, as you can see. Look at that. It's about to go through right there, but it has a little gusset back here reinforcing it, so I'm hoping it won't fall off. But now when I put this on, it goes all the way. So you can see where I have my index card taped on there, and just close that up. It goes all the way up. That is as high as it can go. Now this part is hitting the mixer up here. So there's just really nothing else I can do for adjustment. So I'm going to put it back together, see what happens. Okay, well I've ground off everything I can grind off without destroying this mixer. So let's see how it does with the dime test now. We'll raise the bowl, turn it on the lowest speed, throw in the dime. I don't know if you can hear that, but it's actually hitting the dime. It's not pushing it around much, but it's actually hitting it. You hear a little tap every time it goes around. So I'm going to declare victory and go and make some cookies. Thanks for watching.